What is going on with my camera, my friends? I don't know why it's showing my desk down here. It seems to be having a spaz attack on me. See if I can't figure this out. I should be able to manually. Interesting. All right. Well, that's a very inconvenient bit of timing for that to happen. Hopefully everybody's doing well today. Let's see here. We're gonna do some troubleshooting here first thing in the morning on Wake Up Legendary. Oh, this is always fun when this happens. Technology is incredible. You know why this is doing this? It's because it's one of the, actually, I don't know why it's doing it. It's going to get a bad Google review because it's doing it. This is not a new camera. I've had this for quite a while, but it's one of those AI tracking ones. So what it does is it automatically like tracks where you are. So, and this was like perfectly fine, like backstage just a minute ago, and there was no issues with it. What I might have to actually do is like unplug it and plug it back in type of thing. But either way, even if I have to hold this thing the whole time, we will get through. We will prevail here. But yeah, it is kind of annoying. I don't know why it's doing that. All of a sudden I've got this red light and it's just having a fit, and well, whatever. That's all right. You know what I am going to do? I'm going to go ahead and take this thing and just yank the wire out of it. You should still be able to hear me, but we're going to go ahead and plug that back in. And now we should come back. Give it just a moment here to boot up. Let's see what we can do here, if we can pull this off. The technical difficulties. It's going to happen sometimes. What are you going to do? There's nothing really you can do. I think I may have to select a different different camera here. Maybe this is how you know it's live. I mean, we're troubleshooting in real time, and these are the things you're going to run into sometimes. These are the things that everybody's terrified of happening, right? You're terrified that you're going to get onto a live stream and you feel like you're going to be all ready. Everything's going to be good to go. And the next thing you know, some kind of dumb BS happens and it screws the whole thing up on you. And that's something that terrifies us. It really does. It should terrify people. I mean, it's not something you want to happen, but how bad is it really going to be when that inconvenient or annoying thing comes up, right? I mean, did this little issue I just had with the camera take away from the value being provided here? It probably just added a little bit to the entertainment, if not anything else. So glad we got that straightened out. So now we're here. That's not what I came here to talk about. I didn't, mock up a camera issue so I could talk about that. I've actually got something totally different I want to talk about that I think is going to be quite a bit more interesting than that. And what this is essentially, I got an email the other day, and it's quite interesting. I've gotten a lot of these emails in the past over time. It's a very specific email from a very specific person. And basically what that is what this is going to be is a way that I'm going to show you how you can kind of leverage once you become an established affiliate. Ways that you can leverage are some of the things that will start to happen. The way you almost get a little bit more of a stronger arm than the vendor does, than the company that you're promoting. So let me go ahead and share my screen so I can show you this. And I'm going to give you all the context here. So I'm going to share my screen. Let me make sure I'm sharing the correct thing. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right over here and I'm going to share like this. So this is an email from my personal inbox. This is like my email address that I use for like my own personal business. And I get this email from this Henriquez guy, right? And here's what it says. So it says, "Hello, I hope you're doing well. You have an excellent list of pet affiliate programs." And then he gives me a link to one of my blog posts. And he says, "And I want to introduce you to the Doggo app. It's an award-winning training app that provides step-by-step instruction, customized advice, entertaining challenges." Then he gives me a link to the app. "Would you be interested in listing us? Along with including us, we invite you to participate in our affiliate network and pay 50% commission on all purchases for the first 12 months from the clients using your unique link. Would you want to include Doggo app on your top pet affiliated programs list? Tell me, and I would be pleased to go into more particular depth. Now, why would this guy want me to put his product on his list? And this is where some of the leverage kind of comes in. Now, in this instance, right? This is a blog post that I had written, and this is the 23 pet affiliate programs 2023 ranked best to worst, right? So this is an old post. This is something I created, well, probably before this date, because I came in and updated it on this day. This could have been the published date, but I always wind up having to do some kind of updates shortly after they're published. Anyway, this should give you an idea of how long it can take to start actually getting results with blogging. It can take a very, very long time. It takes a lot of patience, but that's not the point. The point is that this post is just simply a list. I went through and I ranked these affiliate programs. We've seen, these types of posts. You can type in best this or that of anything onto Google, and you'll find stuff like this, right? Type in, best software for building funnels. You'll find a list post like this. Type in best place to order food online. You'll find a list like this, and you're going to find companies, and you're going to find these lists because you can list affiliate programs on here, and people can create these posts. They can share some information. They can share some value. And then you put your affiliate links in line with each thing. Well, this particular post, now this isn't like this particular post of mine, this isn't a life-changing sort of, this isn't a monster post that is generating boatloads of traffic, but it does rank in the first page of Google. So that is something that is of value to other affiliate managers or other companies that have affiliate programs. Because if you're on the first page of Google, that means you're getting all the traffic. And if you're within the top 3, which I believe for a few searches this particular post is, you're going to get even more traffic, right? Because the majority of those clicks are going to statistically land in result 1, 2, or 3 on Google when they make a search, right? So when you are creating stuff like this and it shows up on the top of Google, that gives you a little bit of leverage. And what will happen is companies will want to show up on your post, right? So if I'm ranking number 1 on Google for something that people are searching for, and then this company is able to reach out to me and be listed as the number 1 best thing on my list, that's a valuable position to be in. You see where the value's kind of coming from, right? Let me know in the chat if you're tracking with me, or if this is something that is just totally not making sense at all. But basically, when you are in a position of authority, right? I'm number 1 in Google, or number 2, or number 3, or even number 5, pretty much anywhere on that first page. And if I've got a list, right, that company getting into the number 1 position on my list is a valuable position for them. The same thing would happen on YouTube or somewhere like Instagram, or right. So this is like on Instagram or TikTok, when companies start to work with brands, it's a little bit different. What they'll usually request is they'll want to be the link in your bio, right? They want you to make a certain amount of posts talking about them, and they want to be the link in your bio. That isn't and never will be as valuable as being number 1 on a blog post that's number 1 on Google, but it's still nonetheless very, very valuable. YouTube is the same thing, right? They might ask you to give them a 30-second slot inside of a video, and they might pay you for that, right? So the person who has the audience and has that traffic coming in, there's a lot of value that person can provide to the vendor or the company in the form of traffic. So that means they're willing to usually pay for that value. Now, this particular post, right, there's not going to be any kind of, they offered to let me join their affiliate program. There's not really any kind of significant or worthwhile compensation that I would ask for, or that they could give me in this particular case. Just because it's a pet affiliate programs post, right? It's not what we would call a transactional post. That's something somebody's searching for because they're looking to make a purchase. But nonetheless, this is sort of some of the things that would start happening when you end up in a position where you've got some authority and you've got some leverage. Now, how far can you take this? Now, this didn't happen to me, but it happened to somebody that I know. Actually, it was two guys. These guys were doing this together. And this was something that was shared in a training that I attended, a master class about blogging. And just to give you an idea, now this isn't a typical case, but this is an idea of what could happen in terms of when I say kind of strong arming or getting some leverage. These two guys had a blog post that was in the software niche, and it was ranking on Google in the #1 spot for a very, very long time. I'm going to stop my screen share here. For a very, very long time, it was ranking #1 on Google. And it had like 6 or 7 different softwares going down. It was the best software for this particular thing, right? So whoever was making that search for best this software, right? Best software for this, their post was showing up. And what was happening is that these guys were making so much money because they had the top 2 or 3 companies that were listed on that post fighting for that #1 spot. And the search was so popular, that post was getting so much traffic, that these companies were willing to keep bumping up their commission in order to compete with the other ones, and give them very special terms in order to compete with the other ones. So you're talking about just a simple post, right? An asset that was created, that was done well, and is now living at the top of Google. Now you've got companies fighting and bidding with each other on what position they're going to take on your post. Because if I'm in the #1 spot on this particular post that's getting a lot of traffic, right? Now, keep in mind, even the companies that are featured on that post, those companies, they want to be up on that post themselves. They can't do it. You're there as the affiliate, the blogger, the content creator, the whatever. You're the one showing up on the top. They can't compete with you. So they want to just pay you to put them there and be featured as their #1, right? The other lesson to take away from this is that when you look at these blog posts and affiliates are writing them, a lot of times it's not the best option that's at the top. It's the option that's willing to pay the most to be there, right? So you're never really getting that true. Like, oh, this is the best, right? No, you're getting whoever's paying the most to be there at the top. But that's nonetheless, right? But anyway, my point is that these guys, they were making way more money than anybody else who was in those affiliate programs, because they had this one post in this one spot, right? So now keep that in mind. Now, not only do you have these companies bidding for you, and you're making commissions from all 3, you have an increased commission from all 3, because they're trying to bid to be the best, affiliate partner. So that way you'll put them at the #1 spot. And generally when you do this, it's, there's contracts involved. You'll tell them, and a lot of times what they'll even do is they will give you an additional, almost like a signing bonus, right? And they'll be like, yeah, we'll pay you X amount of dollars to make sure we're in the #1 spot for 30 days. And we'll bump your commission percentage up. And you'll see this a little bit more. Now, this isn't always, something that you're going to be able to do. You got to have you got to be like a #1 and #2. Like, you got to be top of the leaderboard type of affiliate to really do this. But you'll kind of see some of this. Like, if you look at some of the ClickBank products, you'll see, or even like ClickFunnels, for instance, their affiliate program, once you reach a certain amount of regular paying customers, they bump your percentage up. So this is all stuff that exists, and is public, and they will advertise that and just tell it to you, right? So they'll give that bonus to anybody who performs at a certain level as an affiliate for their company. But in these specific instances, you can kind of get a little bit more leverage, and you can strong arm them just a little bit more because you're such a unique case, right? And if you're not going to give them that #1 spot, then what's going to happen is somebody else is going to get the #1 spot. Now, the competition, right? So in this instance here, if my post was the best pet affiliate programs, but if it was the best pet product companies, right? And that was a post that was getting a lot of traffic, best believe they would be, right? They want that #1 spot. Not going to just put it on there because they asked nicely. This is business. So, but obviously that's not the case. This is a different scenario here. But yeah, if that's a very popular search, those people are going to be getting, somebody else is going to get the traffic. Somebody's going to get it, right? The traffic's coming to my post. I'm advertising for other companies. I'm an affiliate for all of them. They can click my link and I make a commission. Doesn't matter where they go, right? So for me as the affiliate, it makes the most sense to pick the best companies, right? Make a bucket of the best ones. Maybe there's not one that's the best, but of those ones that are the best on a list like we're talking about, the one that's going to pay me the most is going to go in that number one spot, right? See what I mean? So I just thought this was cool. I thought this was something that, this email came in. When did this come in? This came in on the 11th. So I got this email 3 days ago. So I said, you know what? I could come on here and talk about this. Dave is traveling today. It's going to be just me. So this would be a good time to talk about it. And it's one of those things where, again, like I said, that post was created in 2023. So if you're going to get into something like blogging, right, it's not like you're going to go write a post and it's going to show up on number one by next week and then you're going to be able to start strong arming affiliate companies. It's not going to happen that way. It's going to take a very, very long time. And then the other piece that is going to determine whether or not this is even something valuable that they care about is going to be if that post is getting the traffic and the search volume that they deem worthy, right? So this particular post, I don't know exactly how much traffic this particular post sees. Probably somewhere between 100 to 300 viewers a month, I would say. So it's not a substantial amount. And I mentioned that before, right? But if you've got a particular search that's being made 50,000 times a month and you manage to get on either the 1, 2, or 3 spot of the Google search, which is going to be very hard to do, by the way, and you manage to get there, that traffic, right? You can probably assume that first result is going to get a majority of the traffic, and then the 2 beneath it are going to get the remainder of that. That's a substantial amount of traffic every month that is just going to this blog post that's just sitting there. So at that point, all you're really doing is making sure you keep the blog post updated. But this is also why blogging can be such a, in my opinion, right, such a good thing to do in addition to what you might be doing on social media, because you might get these winners that just show up somewhere, right? Like this post from 2023 that just gets traffic. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to keep feeding it. I don't have to keep monitoring it. I haven't updated it in over a year. It's been sitting there on my site. That's what happens, right? So that's the reward there. That's really the big reward, is that I'm going to write a lot of blog posts. I'm going to have a bunch of these. They're going to sit out there. Some of them are going to get no traffic, but I'm going to have, out of 100 that I write, I'm probably going to have like 3 or 4 winners that show up on the first page, really high up in the results, that people like, that do well, and earn me regular affiliate commissions, right? If, of course, they're posts that were written and designed to do that. So that's really the benefit. That's really the benefit there. A lot of people, when I was getting into blogging, there was a lot of people also getting into it because they're like, oh, I don't want to show my face online. This is the way to do it. And it's, well, I mean, sure, yeah, if you're really going to scale it and put a team together and put a lot of money and time and resources into growing it, it could work. But it's not going to be the number one, best strategy. It's definitely something to do in addition to whatever you might be doing already on social media. So, I mean, hopefully this topic was helpful for you. And it really was meant to just kind of highlight how being somebody of authority, an affiliate can be of authority too, right? You don't have to be this famous, well-known business owner with their own product and their own team, and they've been on stage. You don't have to be any of that. You just have to have something that somebody else wants that they see to be of value. And traffic is one of those things. So if you're in a position where every time you make an Instagram post, you're getting 20 plus thousand views, every time you upload a YouTube video, right, you're bringing back that audience and you're getting 10, 20, 50, 100,000 views. It could be any of the other platforms too, or you have a Facebook group, or even a platform like this, right? Now, we now obviously we have our own products, so we would never do this. Why would we advertise for somebody else, right? Right? And what products would you guys be interested in that we could advertise that we don't already offer, right? It just wouldn't make sense for us to do it. But even this is a platform where another company might look at this and they might say, I wonder if they would give us a mention there. What would it cost in order to acquire that from, legendary marketer, Dave Sharpe, whatever? These are all platforms that are capable of this. There's not any platform that's going to be excluded from this. The more of value you have to offer, companies will see value in that and they'll want to work with you. Email lists can be the same way. In fact, email newsletters, if you opt into a couple of those, there's one that I always forget the name of it. Morning something. It's a morning brew. So that's a very big newsletter. Yeah. If you look up, you guys look up the morning brew, and then brew like coffee, BREW. Opt into that newsletter. It won't cost you anything. And you can kind of see how companies are doing this on that newsletter. Now, that's a particular newsletter that has something like a few million subscribers, at least is what they say, what they advertise. I'm not an insider. I really don't know. I'm just telling you what I've seen as far as data goes. But when you look at their page, they have a whole page for it. So, I can go and on the side here and see if I can find it or not. And I can maybe even show it to you because it would be relevant to this. So this is the morning brew right here. All it is opt in. Now they have this advertise us. Let's see. I think this is going to be, see, they want me to fill out a form in order to actually see the information. But it's morning brew, right? Become smarter in just 5 minutes. This is what it looks like. I'll show you what it looks like. It's just a newsletter. It's a newsletter business. Okay. So this is it right here, right? You just go to morningbrew.com, become smarter in just 5 minutes. You put your email in and you're in, right? And I'm already on this particular list. They have some blog posts here too, it looks like. So they're a blog and they have a daily show. Looks like they've actually got a lot of things here that they've worked in. They've got some shorts that they're sharing on here. But the big thing that they have, the thing that's been going for them the longest, see, this is where at one point in time, they had a page down here with this advertise with us. You click on this, and then what it would do is it would bring you into it's bringing me into a form. Right. So now it's looking to me to inquire. They used to have a page here that just had a bunch of information. Maybe that page still exists somewhere and we can find it. But what we used to have there is a page that would get But anyway, my point is you opt into this newsletter and then you start looking at these emails that come in every day and you're going to see advertisements there. Right. Some of them are going to just say sponsored. Some of them are going to be, but some of those are going to be sponsored placements. Some of those are going to be there, not because the person who wrote that newsletter actually cares about that company, because that company is paying for that spot in that email. And the higher up in that email they are, it's safe to assume the more that they paid, right? Now, we're talking about a newsletter that has millions of email subscribers. You don't have to have all that, right? If you've got, if you can monetize your email list with affiliate products, other companies will find it valuable, right? Now, again, it's not a public thing. This isn't some public thing that they're just going to know about. They're not going to be able to see that metric. Companies aren't going to be able to do a search and find out who has the largest email list or the best email list or the best quality email list, right? But if that somehow does become known, that could be something that you offer. That could be like a work with me tab somewhere in your footer of your funnel or in the, if you do have like a traditional website, or you could have a video pinned specifically for that. Here's how to, or you can have an email me thing in your bio, right? We see this stuff all the time, business inquiries. And you can create a page that dynamically updates or you regularly update, right? You'll be able to, keep updating that page to give out that information to demonstrate and let them know what kind of value you're able to offer. And then, more monetization opportunities will start coming your way. So anyway, hopefully that's helpful. Can you treat your funnel like a blog? No, you can't, Sandy. A funnel's a funnel. For a blog, you want a traditional website. For a blog, you need to be able to navigate. There's a lot more things you need to be able to add than you could add on a funnel page. A funnel page is really just meant to be a static, interactive page. Maybe it has a video on it. A blog, there's a lot more going on in the background. So, yeah, you're not going to be able to treat your funnel like a blog. There's not a workaround there. Google won't rank that. Google will see that as a low value site, and they won't put that at the top. Cool. Can you recommend a few books on social media marketing? Our training, Sandy. Our training has it all in there. So I mean, is there lots of books out there? Sure, but I wouldn't recommend any of them over top of our training, right? If you've got our training and you're looking for more information, then you're focused on the wrong things. Go into our information, find the information you need to get moving, and then just do the launch, just do the stuff to make the progress, and that's it. But awesome. We're going to go ahead and put a bow on this one here. And if anybody wants to catch the replay of this, we do upload all of these Wake Up Legendaries to our YouTube channel at David Sharpe Live. So you go to YouTube, just type in David Sharpe Live. By this evening, you should be able to see that up there if you wanted to watch this thing back. And then you could go to subscribe and turn the notifications on over there, because then you'll get notified every single time a new video gets uploaded onto our YouTube channel, which is not only all of these Wake Up Legendaries, but additional stuff as well. But awesome, everybody. I hope you all have a good weekend. Everybody enjoy the rest of your day. And we'll be back here again on Monday to do another Wake Up Legendary. Everybody, we'll see you again soon.